So I'm gonna go ahead and kick this one off with an apology. I am sick again, and I've got the nasally kind of like badness going on, so I'm sorry for the way my voice sounds. I don't really know what to do about it. My whole family got hit with the plague this week. It was like, it started with my husband. He got this horrible fever and cold, and then my son got it with a fever and all these terrible things. It finally made its way to me. Now my stepson seems to be coming down with it, so it's been kind of like a rough couple of weeks in this household, especially since my 15-month-old seems to be going through a sleep regression. So for the last 2 nights, he's been up from 2 in the morning until 6:30 in the morning, and then he'll go to sleep for maybe like an hour, and then he's up again. So nap strikes, no sleeping, just the whole 9 yards on top of everyone in the house being sick. So it has been rough. But aside from everybody being sick, it's actually been a really, really good few weeks for us here. My stepson has been in town. We've really enjoyed having him here. It's been tough with everybody sick. We just don't have a lot of things we can go out and do because everybody feels like crap. It has been so good to have him here and just be together as a family and enjoy joking around together and doing the things that we do. He's actually leaving tomorrow, so last night we decided to go out for dinner and a movie and just kind of celebrate, you know, a final kind of night of being together. As we were leaving the movie, I go into the bathroom immediately. So as I'm walking in, I'm behind this woman who looks to be like maybe in her mid-40s, it's hard to say. And she's in these kind of platform wedge heels, and she is like really on the struggle bus trying to walk in these shoes. And I'm walking behind her kind of thinking, is she drunk? But I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm thinking maybe it's the shoes, you know, maybe they were a gift from her husband and she's not used to walking in them. So I'm just kind of like carefully walking behind her, like ready to catch her if she happens to not be able to walk on the tile in the bathroom. And when I turn around, I look in her face and I see her eyes are bloodshot, and she's got that inebriated kind of look, you know, this one that's like, you know, I don't judge, but I'm always a little bit, I have some reservations about people who are drunk in places where drunkenness is not the point. You know, it's one thing if you're at a bar and you're really drunk, or a club or something like that, but like when you see somebody at a movie theater at like 9 p.m. on a Saturday night when we got church in the morning, it's just like a weird thing to see. So I kind of, you know, I'm keeping my distance from her. I think that probably what happened is she went into the movie with like a bottle of wine in her purse and was sitting down the whole time, and she couldn't really feel what was happening. I think she stood up and was like, whoa. So I'm dying to tell them about this lady, but she's walking kind of right beside us, so I can't. But we get to the door, and my stepson, who is 17, is walking out the door in front of us, and he's excited talking about the movie, and he pushes the door open while looking behind him to speak to us. And what happens is, as he pushes the door open, he just catches the wedge heel of the drunk lady who's walking in front of him. Now, this is a mistake that happens when there are loads of people trying to get out of a door. I'm expecting, you know, her to give like a oopsie and keep walking, but what she does instead is she stops and she turns around and she gives my stepson the most evil look I have ever seen somebody give. Like, if she could have sent his eternal soul to hell at that moment, she would have gladly done it. And he, being a good kid, like he's just a good guy, he says, I'm so sorry, that was an accident. And we keep walking, but she really doesn't. She kind of like grabs a hold of her husband and is staring at my stepson like he's this evil person who did it on purpose. So I look at her husband, because I'm not ready to deal with her, and I tell him, it was an accident, he is a kid, we're sorry. And you know, the husband, you can tell he's a little embarrassed, and he's like, it's okay, don't worry, it's no problem. And that should have been the end of it, but for me, like, it's hard to describe. I have a 15-month-old. There really haven't been a lot of like opportunities for Mama Bear to come out, like, because no one really picks on a 15-month-old. But I think this was my first brush up with what the Mama Bear feeling is like. Because I will tell you what, I wanted to go snatch that drunk woman off of those wedge heels and slap her across her little face. I was so angry, and I stayed this way all the way until we got in the car. The kind of backstory of my situation with my stepkids is that they're all grown. My husband got married really young, and he got divorced really young. They've been apart for many, many, many years. And so coming into this situation was a little different than what most kind of traditional step families are. It's more like a buddy kind of role that I have with them, and I like that. And so I've always known that I love this guy. Like I adore him. I think the world of him. He is a loving, compassionate, funny, generous, just smart guy. He's got so many of his dad's qualities. And I think the world of him. And I know that I love him in theory, but I get very few opportunities to put that into practice. So last night, having this mama bear moment, just realizing how just furious I was that somebody had been so just ugly to him, was just a really good feeling. It was a realization that I have very deep feelings for this kid, you know, and I hope he knows that. Switching gears a little bit, I'm gonna be doing Vlogust. I mentioned this in another one of my videos. Vlogust is basically where you vlog every day in August, thus Vlogust. I'm looking forward to it just to have a change of pace. To be honest with you guys, the 5 Ways Wednesday segment, it just, it's wearing me a little thin. So I'm actually going to be not doing 5 Ways Wednesday for the next 4 weeks. I will be returning back to it after Vlogust is over. I'm also not gonna be doing FYI Friday. I don't think anyone is gonna shed a tear over that. I think I'm gonna keep doing my Plan With Me and my Pack With Me videos just because I still really enjoy doing those. There's always a little bit of fear about changing up your channel, doing something different than what you usually do, different than what you know works, but I think that we have to be able to give ourselves permission to walk away from things that aren't inspiring us anymore. So that's what I'm doing. I'm giving myself permission to take a break from these segments that I know are popular, but that I just can't. What I think is gonna happen is by the end of August, I'm gonna be totally burnt out on vlogging and it'll be like a welcome return to go back to 5 Ways Wednesday and my other segments. So I'm looking forward to that. If you wanna join me on the Vlogust kind of journey, leave me a comment down below. Let me know that you're gonna do it. I'm learning that you can't link your video in my comments section because it'll just get flagged as spam, and then I usually don't see it because I don't check my spam folder. So I want to figure out some way for us to be sharing our Vlogust kind of vlogs. Let me know if you're gonna be doing it, and I will make sure I'm checking them out. If I'm not subscribed to your channel already, I'll come subscribe to you so that I don't miss it. Because I love watching vlogs. I'm like really kind of like a dork that way. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It's the last night with my stepson, so my husband's taking a nap. I think I can actually go downstairs and spend a little time hanging out with him one-on-one, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. Thanks guys for tuning in like you do every week. I appreciate it, and I will see you, I guess, tomorrow with my first Vlogust vlog. Bye guys, have a great one.